This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Veals here at your service, broadcasting live from the KFAB studios high above Underwood Avenue in beautiful downtown Dundee. This is the only show in the metro area that talks about business and real estate, construction, economic development, really anything related to Omaha becoming bigger, more prosperous, and more vibrant. Big thank you to our sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, and Dingman's Collision Center. And now, without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, the legendary real estate deal maker, and a guy who's so well known in Omaha, all you have to do is say his first name, and people know who you're talking about, Trenton.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that, Jeff.
We've got Cher, we've got Bono, and we've got Trent. In case you don't know, his last name is Magid, but most people just, it's seriously, if you are in this town and you're saying, oh, I had a meeting with Trenton, I wonder what percentage of people would know exactly who you were talking about.
I know I'm the only Trenton Magid in the world. Not the only Trent in the world, but if you type in Trenton, Omaha, which I have not done, at least lately.
Not in the last day or so.
Ego surfing. I think our show was up late last night, and now that it's 21, can go to the bars.
Oh, that's right. You're referring to the fact that last week we had or actually it was like earlier. No, it was last week. We had our 21st anniversary of being a radio show.
Yeah, and so I don't know if our show's drinking yet or not, but it's a lot more fun to drink when you're not legal, so maybe it's not a big deal anymore.
I don't know, but our show certainly is now legally old enough to drink. And speaking of food and drink, we have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review this week. Chris Corey is our official reviewer. He also reviews movies for us. You can find all his restaurant reviews and movie reviews by going to growomaha.com and clicking on reviews on the navigation bar. But this week, Chris went to Fizzy's Fountain and Liquors. It's in Little Bohemia, right on 13th Street. And this is a fun place. They have kind of like a 1950s nostalgia, even a lot of ice cream cocktails, but it is a 21 and over place. So don't bring the kids unless the kids are all grown up. And anyway, it's owned by a husband and wife team, and they came to Omaha from Portland, Oregon. They're also the people that have Night Owl in the Blackstone district. And I got to confess, I've never been to Fizzy's, but after reading the review, I got to get there.
And talking to Chris about it, it sounds very cool. I like something unique. Downtown Papillion will be fun, and the products seem very unique.
What about Downtown Papillion?
Or where is this?
It's in Little Bohemia.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, Little Bohemia on 13th Street.
I've been there too.
I just love the fact when Trenton betrays. I just love it when Trenton betrays the fact that he doesn't actually read our stuff.
And you're expecting that I listen to you while we're talking on on live radio?
I know, it's a high expectation, but
I had Papillion on my mind.
It's the name of a song. But our Grow Omaha Eats restaurant reviews are brought to you by All Makes. And you know All Makes. They are the multiple generations strong Omaha provider of office furniture and technology. They also have locations in Des Moines, Iowa, over in Lincoln, and several other towns in Nebraska. And speaking of Chris Corey, we're going to have him on next segment. We're going to talk about a lot of restaurant things with Chris. And so if you like to eat, as all of us at Grow Omaha like to do, you don't want to miss that second segment with Chris. But first, it's time to go into our Grow Omaha News of the Week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. EagleMortgageCompany.com. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport, which is just a little bit south of Dodge. And Eagle will help you with your pursuit of the American dream. We all want to have a great house to live in, and they help you do just that. They will shop the market for you if you're looking to get a loan, because they're not a bank. They're not beholden to one bank. They can look at a lot of banks. That's why they're called a mortgage broker, and they find the best lending solution for you. So sit down with Holly Schneiderwind or one of her team of mortgage originators at Eagle Mortgage. They'll take good care of you, EagleMortgageCompany.com. Well, Trenton, a couple big news items, and the first one that I want to get to is that the Union Omaha soccer stadium will not be built on the Gallup campus. We had got some intel about that earlier this week, published a little something about it in Thursday's Grow Omaha newsletter. Mike McKnight from WWT interviewed Gary Green, who is the head guy with Union Omaha, and he confirmed that it will not be part of the Gallup campus. People will recall that the original plan announced early last year was that this $60 million 7,000-seat stadium would be on the grassy lawn between the Gallup headquarters and Abbott Drive. It would be part of a $300 million 18-acre mixed-use development that, in addition to the stadium, would have retail space, apartments, and a hotel. So there you have it. In the statement, Gary Green, the owner of the team, said they are actively looking for other sites in downtown Omaha.
Should we guess?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should come up with maybe a handful of potential sites that Union Omaha may consider now that Gallup is off the table. You start.
Well, this has been going on for a couple of years, ladies and gentlemen, and I think what makes the most sense, and everybody's proud of their ground down there, although I think it would be a good use for the site next to Gallup, I think getting more centrally located, such as the big UP site where you see the nostalgic trains that they bring in for the College World Series. So just across the street from Charles Schwab Field.
To the north.
Yep, on
Coming.
I think if they can come to terms with Union Pacific, and the ground's been sitting there for a long time, that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah. While I loved the plan that they put out last year for the big development of the big stadium on the Gallup lawn, it would have looked great and it would have been a lot of fun. The one negative I saw to that plan is that it was a little too disconnected from the rest of downtown or the rest of North downtown. So if they are able to go to the Union Pacific land that you're talking about, and if I remember correctly, I think that's about somewhere between 20 and 30 acres.
Sounds about right.
And it's just, not only is it north of Cumming, it's also east of Millwork Commons, which is just blowing up with development. And Millwork Commons,
they're building a big parking garage.
Not to mention, yeah, that should start this year. And that parking garage would be directly west of this land we're talking about. You also have the Disney Mule wrapping up construction in Millwork Commons. Construction has started on the Nova apartment building. It has started on the Frame apartment building. This year, we're supposed to start seeing construction on the Millwork Commons Boutique Hotel. So that would be a good site. But let's say it doesn't go there. What are some other options? You know, you could have possibly Lot B, or Lot B or D, but I think that's highly unlikely.
It could be I don't think that the old UP site's big enough, is it?
Where the headquarters was?
Yeah,
no, not nearly. Yeah.
Okay. And then you got 14 or 15 acres, that Capitol, the old Civic site.
Yeah, so the Civic site is supposed to be developed by White Lotus. It's my understanding, if I remember correctly, that their agreement with the city requires them to go vertical by March of this year. That doesn't appear to be happening, and we're hearing a lot of chatter about something else possibly going to the Civic site.
But a big development.
Yeah, big development, whatever. Would that be Union Omaha Soccer Stadium? Could Union Omaha Soccer Stadium be part of it? We don't know.
So where else, Jeff?
You know, another possibility we could think about would be west of Interstate 480, east of the current Mutual of Omaha campus, and between, say, Douglas and Farnham streets in that area. There are 4 empty square blocks right there. And some people call that the Turner Park East
They're grading
neighborhood.
Something there right now.
Well, there's a laydown yard that has been set up on that land that will be used to tear down and rebuild the Harney and Farnham Street bridges. That's a Hawkins construction laydown. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, their trailers are out there.
Yeah. So, because this year, I think like this first quarter, we should start to see demo on the Harney Street Bridge. They'll rebuild that and then next year do the Farnham Street Bridge. But that could be a possible spot. Now, so I think sometimes people, when they hear these things fall through, like, they should have known it. This was ridiculous. I just want to remind people that when you're talking about projects that are tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, there's a lot that goes into it. And acquiring this land from Gallup would not have been cheap. It's my understanding that that Union Omaha and Gallup were never quite able to meet on a price. And I'm sure Gallup has expectations for the land they want to sell. They want to get fair market value. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's been my understanding. The rumblings I've heard was that the land was just too expensive for the project.
I wonder if Gallup did a poll on whether they should sell it.
Well, on that note, we're going to go to our other big story, which is the Omaha Supernovas. They're having a great season, the pro volleyball team that plays in the CHI Health Center. But there was an announcement that came out Thursday that the ownership of the Supernovas, along with some other partners from other parts of the country, have formed MLV Holdings. And MLV stands for Major League Volleyball. So we've got all these pro volleyball leagues for women's volleyball, and now it appears that this group, which said in a press release that it has more than $100 million in committed funding, is looking at launching Major League Volleyball in January of 2026. The Omaha Supernovas would be a founding team. It would feature 10 teams that would be located across the country in states like Wisconsin, California, Minnesota, Idaho, Tennessee, Florida, Ohio, Washington, all over the place. So the Supernovas would leave their current league, which is called the Pro Volleyball Federation. They'll finish this year in that league and then go into this new one. So big questions are raised with this, Trenton, and those questions are: what will this league look like? Will other teams from the Pro Volleyball Federation leave and join the Supernovas? How many women's pro volleyball leagues can America support?
And it's a relatively young, not young sport, but as far as commercializing it
as a pro league,
and you get only a lot of attention, and hopefully they do it right, but they don't have too many leagues that it confuses people and lessens the sport. We're concerned about having 2 professional volleyball teams, women's volleyball teams in Omaha.
Yeah, and so far it seems like we're able to pull this off because just this month, the Supernovas broke their own all-time women's professional volleyball attendance record with darn near 14,000 people at the CHI Health Center. So to pull that off is crazy. Of course, we are the volleyball state. So if there is any successful Major League Volleyball presence at all, Omaha's got to be a part of it.
The last volleyball game I've been to is Nebraska Creighton, which was fun to watch. Have you been to a Supernovas game?
I have not been to a Supernovas game, but I've been to a few Husker volleyball games.
Is amazing.
Thoroughly enjoyed those.
It's the OG of volleyball.
Well, yeah, and the reason we're the volleyball state goes back to Terry Pettit and what he started with the women's volleyball team in Lincoln and built it up over the years. So this is going to be fun to see. Volleyball ranks among the top 5 most popular global sports for participation with 800 million players worldwide. So you're going to have a following there, and it's very cool. Volleyball is not the NHL or the NBA or the NFL, but it is cool that Omaha is on the ground level of a major league sports league.
And it's a great sport for young girls. It doesn't require a ton of equipment, or yes, they can travel, but it's not as expensive as a lot of sports like hockey and things like that.
Yeah, hockey's brutal as far as the expense for parents. Well, then finally, the Omaha Streetcar Authority approved 3 contracts for construction and engineering over the last week. The largest was a $26.7 million contract with Sampson Construction based in Lincoln to build the new vehicle maintenance facility. This will be east of 8th Street on the south end of Lot A of the CHI Health Center, just in the shadow of an Interstate 480 exit ramp. And this will be a very cool building. It'll have offices for the Streetcar Authority, but mostly it will be a place for storage and maintaining, fixing. Periodically these cars will need to be repaired and maintained, and that'll be their construction should start very soon. They're already doing site prep, and completion is scheduled for December of 2026.
It's going to be cool.
Bring it on. Can't wait for that thing to open because it will fundamentally change urban Omaha for the better and really create a tremendous amount of business and real estate opportunities and a lot of fun for residents. All right, we're going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we're going to bring on Chris Corey. He is the official Grow Omaha restaurant and film critic, and we're going to talk a little bit about food and restaurants, really our favorite subject. So stay with us. It'll make you hungry. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Hey, it's Bobby Bones.
All right, sports fans.
Thank you, Kylie.
So, Chris, you're going to have to make the camera stable and come over
That's
and
what
join
I'm
us.
doing. Working on that.
Did you bring your stabilizer?
This one here, yeah.
Stabilizer. Stabilizer. Activate.
You got stabilizer.
This is partly for Cabo, but I'll be using this for.
Is that a camera?
It's a camera, yeah.
That's a camera.
It's a damn good one too.
We've got 3 cameras now.
We got 3 cameras.
We
Wow.
are getting
I probably won't do it
My
all the time, but I'm kind of testing it out to see how it does.
Do you have an athlete
Who
so
makes
big
that?
deal.
wants to start or improve their tumbling skills? What about
We are
taking
so
set
big deal, we have
skills to
3
the next
cameras
level?
now.
We're so big.
We
Yeah,
have
this,
the
So, ladies
Big
and
update.
gentlemen who view Uncut, all 11 of you. Actually, it does better than that, but it's kind of our ongoing joke that nobody watches Uncut. But actually, a lot of people watch Uncut.
tens of people.
Tens of people. So,
People hack it. That's why you don't see the numbers on YouTube.
so, lady and gentlemen who watch Uncut,
Watching groups.
Chris is going to come on here. So Chris plays dual roles on the Grow Omaha team. He's the official Grow Omaha restaurant and film critic, but he's also the owner of Arbor Creative. And Arbor Creative does our video work, our website work, helps us with some of our other creative and social media work. Do a hell of a lot for us.
Save it for the live show.
Well, but I got to explain. They're probably wondering, like, why does this guy just like appear and we talk about,
What's all this Chris Corey worship?
Yeah. Why do we
Not to
love?
leave out Jen.
I'm down with it.
They're like, why do they love this Chris guy?
Jen would look
Yeah, how
better
come
on
I don't get
camera.
a shout out, Jeff?
Why do they glaze Chris all the time around here and not Bill? So that voice you heard was
Bill Dixon, ladies and gentlemen. He's single. and he's into swords. And
He's single and ready to
Cosplay.
mingle.
Thanks, Trenton.
Bill, are you eligible for dates for any Grow Omaha Uncut listeners and viewers?
I suppose. I don't know where that road goes.
You first want to see them first?
Probably
any
should.
of you eligible gentlemen that want
No, he's straight.
I like the finer things in life, Trenton.
don't be judgmental.
I'm not being judgmental. I just know what I like.
You don't have to talk in the microphone.
Oh, okay.
The microphone's turned off right now.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. After 21 years.
Oh, Chris. We'll talk a lot. So we'll talk about your 5 best restaurants.
I'm going to talk about.
I'm going to mention Avali since we went there last night.
Nice shirt. Did you have a
I dressed up.
carbonara?
I had squid ink pasta with the seafood. Shiitara, is that what it is? Squid ink.
What are these shit-take mushrooms?
Shiitara.
They are. It was so good.
Shiitara. I think.
Shiitara. Yeah.
Shiitake.
Did you know that shiitake looks like shit-take?
All
So-
done. I see it in Hy-Vee every
Chris,
day.
last night,
30 seconds.
Steph and I both got that, and then I ordered the optional extra.
You work at Hy-Vee?
The extra octopus
work
on
at
top of
Hy-Vee?
it.
Every day.
Oh,
I
nice.
shop
And
there.
then Jack got that.
not every
Anna
day.
got the vodka cream
You got the best butcher
pasta,
shop.
something or other.
I wish we
And
got
Maddie
this
got the
started.
carbonara.
All right, 10 seconds.
They work with me, people.
We also got the burrata appetizer, which was nice.
See what you're wearing.
Burrata's really good.
Yeah.
News Radio 1110.
Welcome to the other side.
Anywhere, anytime, on demand. With our free iHeartRadio.
You're double-breasted.
All your music, radio, and podcasts.
We got 2 of them.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beal sitting next to Trenton Maggot. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. This is the time in which we are going to talk a little bit about food. And we have with us Chris Corey, who is our official restaurant reviewer and film critic. Good morning, Chris. Welcome back.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Trenton.
Good to
morning,
have
Omaha.
Good to have you here, Chris. And I thought about you yesterday. My wife's birthday was yesterday, Stephanie. And so the family, we went out to Avali, and that's the pasta and Italian place across the street from KFAB. You just reviewed that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And It was awesome. We had a great dinner last
That's
night.
one of our favorite places.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about a top 5 list in a little bit, but that's one that we did right at the end of the year, and that just snuck in and was pretty much at the top of my list.
So Avali was on your top 5.
It was, yeah.
So what else was on your top 5? Because that was a real good article you wrote right at the beginning of this year, looking back at 2024. So you loved Avali, and what else jumped out last year?
Well, let's see here. We've got Sauce Alfaro. That one was kind of a nice surprise. Amazing chicken sandwiches. I think Brad was on here last
That's more
week.
casual.
Much more casual.
That's in downtown Papillion.
The only issue they run into, that's what you were thinking of earlier, right?
Yep.
It's so popular that there's lines out the door, and I think the only complaint I hear people say is sometimes it takes a little minute to get their food, but from what I understand, they've got their process down and got that in order. And I saw that they've got these new chicken nugget things that are out that are, if they're anything like the tenders that are on their sandwich, I mean, come on, I'm going to take Alex down there and give those a try. So,
Okay, so sauced by Alfara and Avali, and then and I've still got to try sauced. I got to admit. Okay, what else was on there?
we got 2 flagship restaurants, Memoir that just opened this last year, and then we have Cleo, which is Jen's. I think that would be Jen's favorite.
Your wife.
Yeah. Her favorite would be Cleo, and then Udalali, which was a wonderful surprise. I mean, the mission behind what they're doing, how they're trying to help people with second chance, but you won't know that when you go in there. You don't. You don't get that sense. I mean, they're in every way professional. The food that's delivered to you is in every way top notch, and it's just a great dining experience.
And this is the same location as the old Mark's
Yeah.
on Underwood, close to here as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just like a block east of here, I think.
Yeah, so Dundee. It's interesting because if you look at those 2 flagship restaurant concepts that you reviewed, they're downtown, and then the 2 of the other 5 are right here in Dundee where KFAB is. Now, I've been to both Memoir and Cleo. Loved both of those. Been to Memoir like 3 times.
Oh, nice.
And absolutely love that place. I have not yet tried Ude Lali. I got to get in there. Tried to.
Memoir is really go ahead.
I tried to, but the reservations were all taken up one weekend when I tried to get in, even though I was trying to get in like 5 or 6 days
Probably
early.
because of the review.
Probably.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
One thing about Memoir is it's kind of an amalgamation of their different restaurants of
Yeah.
flagships.
Yeah.
Different. What's your favorite menu items?
Let's see here. I think, what did I have? I had I think I had the flank steak, and that was really good. And that they've got a really good risotto as well.
The ambiance with that
but-
pink ceiling.
But I mean, they made best cocktail on my top 5. So I did the top 5 restaurants, and I did kind of a bonus of my favorite dishes. The Marco Island, that's the one that had Jennifer going, "Come to Mama." So she
Come
took a
to
sip.
Mama.
She took a sip. Usually we try to share, and you
After
know, and
4 of those, yeah.
I got like one and a half sips because she loved it so much.
You're
So-
like, save some for the rest of us.
exactly.
One thing that Omaha is so good about, not just the Culinary Institute, but the training that goes into the restaurant service people.
Yeah.
We love the food. You talk about the food, but if the service is horrible, then it's a non-starter.
You know, I was thinking about this last night. One of the things that I really look for is the whole experience. Because you can bring a great plate of food, but if the service is terrible, it kind of sullies the experience, and it's not. It's not good.
Or the personalities, if they're not upbeat, if
Yeah.
they wear a bad day on their.
It makes a big difference. But, fortunately, our experience last year has been pretty top notch. I mean, very rarely do we have anything remotely negative, which has been great. And I think that just speaks to Omaha. It's like you said, the training that we get out here and the culinary scene. I mean, there's a lot of pride to be taken here.
And ladies and gentlemen, if there's a horrible experience, we just won't cover that restaurant. And so
Right.
don't think that everything, and you talk about things that need help and improvements on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're not going to blast a restaurant. If Chris goes somewhere and it's bad, we're just not going to review it. We're not going to.
And why do you want to hear about a bad restaurant?
No, I mean, Yelp will do that for you.
Yeah, Yelp will tell you if it's terrible.
But I haven't had that yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully that trend continues. I'm sure it will for the most part. But
Yeah, they're not perfect. I mean, and you'll point out things that you didn't love as much as others at these restaurants, as Trenton said. But guys,
Yeah.
I want to touch on something that I just kind of hinted about a couple minutes ago. That in my opinion, shows Omaha is growing up in its restaurant scene and its sophistication level. Last Saturday, we had some family members in from out of town, both of whom are just huge foodies. They love the Omaha restaurant scene, and every time they come spend the weekend with us, which is usually once or twice a year, we go to a variety of different places.
Olive Garden.
It's on the list. We haven't gotten there yet. So last weekend, I tried to, and I made the reservations about 6 to 7 days in advance. I thought, well, that's enough time, right? That's enough time. I was trying to get Saturday night dinner, and I'm not criticizing these restaurants. I'm happy they were hard to get into because it's a good sign. But 6 to 7 days in advance, I tried to book reservations for 4 at Clio, Memoir, Salted Edge, Boiler Room, and there was one other place I looked at. All were full.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
And I thought, I was a little bit bummed I couldn't get in.
Can you eat at 4? No.
With the weeks, I could. Yeah, that's a good point. Some of them I could have gotten in at 4 or 8:30.
Well, that again, there's really good happy hours out here too. That might be tough as well.
That's true, but that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. It just shows that people here are appreciating our good restaurants, and it just means that if we want to have a reservation for 4 on a Saturday night, you got to do it a little early.
And the risks that these restaurateurs and entrepreneurs take, the cost of going to these restaurants, unbelievable.
Yeah, especially nowadays with the cost of food going up, it's hard to keep good staff on. But a lot of people are, really succeeding in that, and I think it's great.
Well, if you want to read Chris's reviews, just go to growomaha.com and click on reviews on the navigation bar. You can see all of his restaurant reviews and all of his movie reviews as well. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We appreciate that. Chris Corey, owner of Arbor Creative and our official critic of film and restaurants. Going to take our middle of the show break for the news, and when we come back, we'll have additional news items, plus your Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight. So stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
I had an unbelievable burger yesterday. So, Alex,
You might want this back.
Alex, here you go, Slim.
Where at?
Look who's talking, right?
Yeah, all right.
The Alex Harrington from Pickleman's and Untamed Kitchen just opened All American Burger, just like Fast Food Restaurant High.
Okay.
And it's incubating it in the inner rail.
Okay.
And when it's successful, he'll probably move it into Untamed Kitchen.
Nice.
When there's finally parking and people can get to it.
Keep me posted. That should be a.
I want to give him a shout out here because it was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a deal.
So when are you going to announce the deal?
I don't know if I want to announce it on here because it's going to go fast if he.
National LTE
so-
It goes fast as you think. Because
that was
because that fast. But I'm talking about the 100 might not go as fast as you think because like the number of people that will actually from the radio go there and remember.
That's true. Hold on.
My guess is if they get 10 from the radio, I'd be impressed. No, seriously, by the time people get there, think about like when we do those live remotes, we're like, come out and see us.
Siri, call Alex Harrington Mobile.
And if he does say, I'll just we can post it as soon as the show's over on the social media.
That was fun. Thanks,
I
Jeff.
can do that right from here. Good job, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely. I'm happy to fill in when you don't have anyone.
Well, you
there, bud?
at any given
Hello?
on any given Saturday, if something happens where either Trenton or I don't get here on time, you're sitting in one of these chairs.
I'll jump in. That's fine. I'll frame up the camera and hop in.
On any given Saturday, if one of us doesn't show up, you're the backup plan.
Just text me your notes.
Yeah. if for no other reason than it's nice to have someone, like when I'm doing it, I like to have someone just to throw it to, so I don't have to talk like monologue and get short on breath and all
What's
that
the
sort of
deal?
thing.
I'd actually be happy to fill in.
I read your
co-host
newsletter during the
anytime,
week.
So,
Yeah.
I read your newsletter during the week. If
Okay,
you need
so
help, I can help you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because if one of us doesn't show up, I'm not a Scott Voorhees.
Does he know about next week?
I have a hard time carrying a show all by myself. What was that?
It's
Does
a
he know
skill.
about next week?
Yeah.
What about next? Oh, you
yeah.
guys are going to Mexico, yeah.
So next week,
We're not gonna talk
there
about
will be
it.
a pre-recorded one
Okay.
that we're going to record on Thursday. And then the week after that, Brad Williams is doing it with a guest and a guest co-host.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I will give my key card to Brad to get into the building.
Okay.
I'm meeting him for lunch on Thursday after we record this coming show.
Yeah.
And then I'll give him the key card so he'll be able to get in.
Give him my number
We can
too,
announce
just in
it.
case.
Yeah, in case
So
it doesn't work or
yeah,
something.
The
in case
radio
there's a
today.
problem.
What I'll probably
point.
do is I'll probably
time does
send
it
both
open
you
tomorrow?
and Brad a message with each other's cell phone numbers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So All
that's-
American Burger
so that's
is-
the February 1st show.
Okay.
From the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Is it really? Oh,
Yeah, this will be a long way away. I'll
Sure.
probably
So is
have
he
a weekend
modeling
off in
after that?
March.
Okay.
but
No,
I'll
good
be
for you.
later,
Where's that?
So
You got
Oh,
your
ready to
once
go.
in a while.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It gets to you.
We're going
Concerns
to
that get
talk
to
about
you.
it on the radio as well as post it. Exclamation point. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
And now I got a seminar
Period.
I'm going to, so
Oh,
it'll be fun.
okay.
Yeah.
Where? What city?
Here.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had to go out of town for it.
No.
This could be a great way
I hope I didn't jump off the Avali thing. I just wanted to reference it to
attract
No, you did great.
for
Yeah.
people to
yeah.
try it.
That's good.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So quick.
Isn't it amazing? It just goes. Yeah. I mean, this whole show.
How's your pooch? Question mark.
I get up early Saturdays and spend about 2 hours working on the show,
When he's not here, I do about 3 hours.
There you go.
and then we get to the show, and I probably could have gotten away with just doing a half hour.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but still,
But I
it's,
still like to be prepared.
yeah, I'd be the same way.
It gives you
But-
comfort.
Right now, it is cold and breezy in Omaha and Council Bluffs. 12 degrees in both and 15 in Lincoln. The Grow Omaha Show will be back in about 3 minutes. Here on News Radio 1110 KFAB. KFAB News Time is 9:37.
He didn't even. His voice didn't even quiver.
He's expecting it now.
That's because I am a professional. I'll have you know.
I'm gonna bring new
And
sounds.
unscatable. Yeah. All that means is that he's going to.
You should do that next time. Bill's like, no, you should not do that next time.
Yeah. Don't challenge him, Bill. Don't test
Next
him.
week, I'm gonna do a ferret.
I feel insulted though. He didn't touch my leg this time.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You
I
should
feel.
be.
Well, there's,
Slide it.
There's plenty of time in Cabo.
Yeah. I feel bad.
That Gallup poll joke was fucking awesome.
That was good, but you gotta understand. I can't. If I laugh at your joke on there, it ruins its effectiveness. A straight man is not supposed to laugh in a comedy bit.
Yeah.
Andy Richter did. I mean, that's why she's on like TLC now or whatever.
Yeah, that's a name.
Conan
I've heard in
O'Bar-
a long time. Andy Richter.
I don't even know who that is. Who's him?
He's a.
Oh, is he the guy that was on with Cohen
He
and
was on
O'Brien
with
back in the
Conan,
day?
Aren't they on like the Court TV now or something? What's
Yeah, I
what's
don't
he
know
on?
where Conan.
They have some. They're on some.
Back in the day, Conan had that late night show, and Andy was the kind of the pudgy guy on there.
Still
with
is.
her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
He's not on TBS anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I was
remember,
gonna say TBS, but yeah, I don't know
yeah.
what he's on.
I thought he was.
There's this thing called Google.
Yeah, if only
Yeah,
we
but
had.
that requires me to pick up my phone. My
If only
phone's
we
right
had
there, I
the
don't wanna pick it
accumulated
up,
knowledge
so.
of 5,000 years of human civilization at our fingertips.
Yeah, I don't want it on my feed.
Now you just ask ChatGPT and it'll
Until it
tell you
crashes, and then we lose it all in the cloud, and we have to learn it all over
We have to,
again.
I love
we
how
have to
people-
rewrite it.
Yeah.
I have a client.
If I remember correctly.
And friend that does not challenge ChatGPT. Like if GPT, if it's on there, it's fucking right.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an argument with ChatGPT. I know friendly.
He'll write something and then send it to his attorney to
And I
review.
eventually, I just kept going back and forth. I can't remember what it was, but finally got ChatGPT. Well, you have a valid point. I think that's ChatGPT.
30
telling me,
seconds.
all right, enough.
ChatGPT, you're right. I surrender.
I think I kind of feel like I won.
Kind of won.
When do you want to do the burger?
Lightning round? But you got to do it quick. Should we do it right at the beginning of the lightning round? Since that's kind of when we talk a lot about restaurants.
Okay.
But you got to do it fast. Like you can you,
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
compress it to 35 seconds?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Get time saver traffic updates with Lucy Chapman in the morning and Steve Parker in the afternoon. This is Nebraska's news, weather, and traffic station. News Radio.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid with you. Are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, which has 5 metro area, well, 4, but soon to be 5 metro area locations. They all do a great job and take care of your automobile. Not only bodywork, but they also have mechanical services as well. And Cheer Athletics. All-Star Cheer is going to be an Olympic sport in 2028, and so it's getting really popular, and we have pretty much the best All-Star Cheer gym in America right here in Omaha, located near Highways 50 and 370 in Papillion. All right, it's time for your Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, which is brought to you by Noddle Companies. They are a premier developer in America, based right here in Omaha. They do projects nationwide. In Omaha, they're famous for Exarban Village and the Builders District downtown and so many other developments. They're also famous for doing shopping centers and headquarters buildings. I mean, Trenton, you think about it, Valmont, few years ago, opened up their global headquarters in Heartwood Preserve. Well, Noddle Companies developed that building. So we appreciate Noddle Companies being a sponsor. And what we do in this segment is we pick one Noddle Companies project and we talk about something that's happening in or near it. And today we go to Exarban Village, and inside Exarban Village is the beloved Inner Rail Food Hall. And we have some new things happening at Inner Rail Food Hall. And one of those is Poppy's Mexican Grill, which just recently opened, specializing in authentic tacos. And then we have The Grove, which is a local cold-pressed juice and wellness cafe coming soon. They also have an existing location in downtown and West Omaha. And also at the Inner Rail Food Hall, Trenton Magid visited a brand new restaurant just yesterday.
So excited. Had one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. All-American Burger, ladies and gentlemen. Just opened. It's a creation of Alex Harrington of Pickleman's fame. And he is incubating a concept that he wants to take downtown and other places. But Spicoli would love it, and everybody would love it. Everybody from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. They bring in the bread, I think, from New York, and I liked it so much. I want you to try it as well. So I set it up with Alex and his team at All American Burger at the Inner Rail. The first 100 people that go there and order and mention Grow Omaha, you got to mention Grow Omaha, gets $5 off their meal. If you got 5 people, that's $25 off. So, ladies and gentlemen, have at it. Let us know what you think. We'll post this on our Grow Omaha Facebook page, and go check out All American Burger at Exarban Inner Rail.
And Trenton has a habit of joking around about if you say this, you get money off. This is real.
Yeah, this is real. This is cash from my pocket to yours.
So yeah, Trenton. This is on Trenton. So go to All America Burger in the Inner Rail Food Hall and mention Grow Omaha, and you get $5 off.
It opens at 11 a.m. this morning. Let's see how long it goes.
Yeah, that'll be kind of cool. Just watch. There will be a big line of people saying, "I want a piece of Trenton's wallet and a delicious burger."
Yes.
All right, that is your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. You can learn more about Noddle Companies by simply going to noddlecompanies.com. Got a few news items for you that we haven't got to yet. First of all, the Levi Carter Park Activity and Sports Complex project is about to move forward. In a couple weeks, the Omaha City Council will vote on an ordinance to hire Hausman Construction as the construction manager. The project will consist of a 100,000 square foot facility with 10 basketball and volleyball courts, a wrestling room, weightlifting room, computer labs, community space. Additionally, it'll have 4 outdoor soccer fields and a big parking lot. It's a $35 million project. Site grading could start as early as this spring. It will be located in Levi Carter Park, directly north of the lake and west of Epley Airfield. And it looks like the outdoor fields could open this fall, with the indoor facility opening a year from this fall.
I just think it's amazing that 2 international companies are sponsoring it.
Why is that?
Levi's and Carter.
Oh, you're very, very funny.
Kids,
Levi Carter Park Activity
okay.
Center, Trenton.
That's local.
Wah, wah, wah. All right. The Omaha City Council approved a resolution to pay $500,000 toward Plaza de la Raza. It's a project in South Omaha, just along the west side of 24th Street at N Street, in as in Nebraska. That's the heart of Old South Omaha. Such a great area. It basically is a parking lot right now with a very, very tiny pedestrian plaza, but it's going to turn into a very vibrant public space. It's going to take up most of the parking lot that's on the west side of 24th Street there. Altogether, additional funding is coming from the state of Nebraska and Douglas County of $6.5 million. You're going to have a stage, green space, children's playground, pedestrian plaza. Can't wait to see what that looks like, but it took a little bit of a step forward here just recently. And then finally, in this segment, I do want to talk a little bit about the cluster you-know-what that is the Good Life District in Gretna, Nebraska. This, my friend Trenton, is hard to wrap our head around. So, Rod Yates, a friend of ours who is the owner-developer of Nebraska Crossing, pushed through a measure in the Nebraska legislature a couple years ago in order to build a transformative development that would draw a substantial amount of money from out of state. There would be all sorts of tax incentives to allow a developer to do this. The state of Nebraska decided that there could be up to 5 of these. The first one approved was the one in Gretna. Then right after that, or actually right around that same time, Grand Island had one. And then Bellevue has one that's going to be around that really cool water park that starts construction later this year. There's a 4th one approved for Avenue 1 near 192nd and West Dodge Road. The 5th one is kind of being fought over between Papillion and Kearney. At any rate, the developer owner of Nebraska Crossing, which was the original applicant of the Gretna project, had some very serious disagreements with the city of Gretna about prices and terms and how the process would work. And nevertheless, on Tuesday, January 14th, was the final day of a mail-in ballot. The citizens of Gretna had to vote on this Good Life District. It passed, barely. 1,044 votes to 1,029 votes. At about the same time, Rod Yates, the original applicant, pulled his Good Life District, saying that he believes the project is no longer viable. And supposedly, Yates plans to convince the unicameral right now in this year's session to pass a new law allowing him to develop a mega project independent from the city of Gretna. And then finally, to make matters even more interesting, now there's talk coming out of the governor's mansion that Governor Pillion may want to rescind and scrap the entire Good Life concept altogether in the state, which could mean that all the work done in Grand Island and Bellevue could be for naught. Trenton, help me get my head around where the hell we are with this Good Life project thing.
I think the intentions were good. How do you define transformative projects with tourism but the other thing too is that the 2,000 acre designation that's the maximum size these things can be. Avenue 1 is like 200 and something acres. It's just the developer's piece of ground, and then Rod Yates wants to go up to 4,500 acres, which would require more legislation to expand that. So I can understand the city's consternation when you're trying to take, 18,000 people in Gretna or something? It's not a...
Oh, in the city of Gretna, about 10,000, I think.
Okay.
But maybe 18,000 in the surrounding area.
So, and then to bring in 30,000 or whatever people and they say $5 billion worth of development, obviously it's a number of years before that could come into play. Now, I applaud Rod and Johanna's, it's his sidekick, Johanna Boston, their vision of doing this. The question is the amount of absorption, the amount of buy-in from the community and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And if the governor scraps the whole thing, that would be crazy.
Well, if you like drama, ladies and gentlemen, and you like entertainment, just watch this Good Life stuff unfold during this year's unicameral session. We're out of time for that segment. We're going to come back after the final break of the hour with a very quick lightning round by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. But in the meantime, you're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Yeah, you could do an entire hour-long show dissecting the Good Life District and still have
very little idea what the hell is happening.
Well, you did a better job of explaining it than I thought about it.
Oh,
Did you
So
Yeah, that was well
listen
covered.
that was very well
appreciate
done.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
as we covered
the support,
it pretty
fellas.
well?
All right.
Hey, we're here for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Period. Let the fun begin.
So
Exclamation
in all seriousness, man, that thing's weird. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
bizarre.
Do you have your
Too many cooks in the
Do
kitchen.
you have your post of that picture?
The thing you sent me.
Yeah.
What we'll do is after the show, I'll pull it up, and then I want you to kind of bless what I write.
It's actually the $5 thing was it's not a huge amount, but number one, you're getting the word out. Number two is a little bit just a nudge, and to get more people. If you do 20, $10 or $20, you don't get as many people.
Yeah,
But it's not. I mean,
I want a piece of Trenton's wallet
mhm.
and a delicious burger.
When Trent Maggott's money,
Of course, after the show, I'm going to book it down there and get $5 off on you.
get your whole family over there. Me too.
I'm thinking of I might bring this thing and
You guys-
see what the
You
line
should.
looks like.
It's a good.
You bet-
I'm not kidding.
you better be there
It's-
11:01.
It's all stuck together. I got like they have it says like Oklahoma and then it's crossed out. It says Nebraska burger, and it's a digital sign, and it's all stuck together. Just really tasty.
Yeah, I got to try it.
And the bread.
30 seconds. This is going to be a short segment.
So you're
Yeah, how many minutes?
Probably be about 3.
3. So we'll go muy rapido.
I'll play the music at 56:46.
Trenton, you're really putting your money
And
where
you'll
your
give me a
mouth
1
is.
minute to
Yeah.
music.
Give you 1 minute.
Where are the people's mouths?
So we're going to go really. We're just going to go brief hit, boom.
Like lightning, Jeff.
That's why they call it the lightning round.
Is that why?
Is that why they call it that?
Is that what that is?
Is that why they call it the Mile High City?
Nebraska's news, weather, and traffic station. News Radio 1110 KFAB and KFAB.com and iHeartRadio station.
And it's the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things in a very little bit of time. Thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. They are in the business of building outstanding buildings. Perkins Kreitzer Construction is a full-service contractor with all sorts of experienced superintendents, project managers, laborers, you name it. They've got a team that gets it done. Great buildings, on time, under budget. Doesn't matter whether you need to build out a office or retail space, or if you want to build your own warehouse or church or office building, they do all of it. Perkins Kreitzer Construction. You can find them online at p-cconstruction.com. That's p-cconstruction.com. Hey, first up, Waybridge Ketamine Clinics, which was founded in Omaha, and they help people with depression, PTSD, anxiety, pain management, opening a second location in Nashville, Tennessee. The original Omaha location is near 168th and West Center Road. Always good to see an Omaha company expanding out of town.
I represented them.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it's a necessary business, and they run a good show.
Gugu Ramen, a ramen and Korean fried chicken concept, will open soon at 9820 South 71st Plaza. That's in Papillion near 72nd and Cornhusker. It's in a retail strip near Jersey Mike's. It is adjacent to Golden Apple Buffet, which opened in June of 2024 and has the same ownership. The Mutual of Omaha skyscraper downtown, they're now working on the 28th floor.
Wow.
The concrete sheer tower is going up pretty fast. It'll eventually be 44 stories. They are already on floor number 44. All right, let's go into a couple of other restaurant things that we have for you today. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers has signed a development deal to do 3 more restaurants with a franchisee here in Douglas and Sarpy counties. We don't know where. They haven't announced where yet. But the burger chain based out of Wichita, Kansas, currently has 550 restaurants in 36 states, and we'll keep an eye on where they're going in Omaha. We have Senor Tequila, a new Mexican restaurant going into the former Cilantro space near 144th and F. Signage is up. And Cilantros is supposedly moving to Oakview Mall area to the former Smitty's garage space, but I don't believe I've heard that they have opened. The Hideaway Grill and Bar recently opened at 807 South 21st Street in the former Whistles Pub and Grub space in Council Bluffs. I'm told they have $5 lunch specials if you want to get a really good deal. The Only Facial will host its grand opening and ribbon cutting January 28th at 1020 South 74th Plaza. It's a facial spa specializing in single signature facial tailored to individual skin types and concerns. Wow, that sounds fancy. The Nebraska location
You go there?
is the first around here. They also have ones in Missouri, Texas, and Indiana. Got some closings. Hate to say it, but you got to know it. Outback Steakhouse, 76 in Cass Street, gone. Amigos location in Gretna, gone. But don't worry, there are always more restaurants opening than closing. Trenton finally, could be a little controversy here, but Starbucks now says if you come to use the restroom or hang out and read a book or work on your laptop, you have to actually order something because they're a for-profit business trying to actually make money.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so apparently you used to be able to go there for the last 7 years and buy nothing and use the restroom or sit there and read your book. Now, not so much. Buy some coffee. All right, the music is playing, which means we are done. Hope everyone has a great week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Say something.
I was so focused on my pose.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.